Before Congress decided to establish a national capital near the Potomac River in 1790, what became Washington, D.C., and long before slavery ended in Washington, D.C. in 1862, there was Yarrow Mamout. In the West African Fulani language, Yarrow means fourth child born, and Mamout means Muhammad. And so it was that Yarrow Mamout was born in 1736 in West Africa. Yarrow was kidnapped by slave traders while he was still a teenager. By the age of 16, he and his sister were transported to Annapolis, Maryland. They would never see their parents or siblings again. But Yarrow kept his dream for freedom alive. That dream took 44 years. Yes, 44 years. Enduring decades of hard labor and abuse, Yarrow was finally able to purchase back his freedom in 1796. He was 60 years old at the time. Yarrow was a smart man, and he kept working hard until he was able to also purchase the freedom of his wife and his son. They all lived here, 3324 Dent Place, Northwest, Washington, D.C. Yarrow bought a log house at this location, though the original cabin is long gone. This is the third structure standing at the spot. It was here, in the backyard, that Yarrow designed for himself a small prayer space facing the direction of Mecca. It was a little masjid, a long way away from his original home in West Africa, where the sound of the adhan would have always been around him as a young child. Yarrow was originally from the famous West African Fulani tribe and spoke the Fulani language, but he also spoke and was able to write Arabic. Arabic was not only a language of faith, but many African tribes also used Arabic script, as thousands of manuscripts from Timbuktu suggest. Sylviane A. Diouf, in her book Servants of Allah, quotes Baron Roger, a French colonial governor of Senegal. He said in 1828, "There are villages in which we find more Negroes who can read and write the Arabic, which for them is a dead and scholarly language, than we would find peasants in our French countryside who can read and write French." Yarrow Mamout passed away in 1823. He was buried in the very backyard where he used to pray. A painter of the founding fathers of America, Charles Willson Pale, also captured Mahmoud in an 1819 portrait. This is how he looked. Mahmoud's biographer, James H. Johnson, describes Mahmoud as a jack of all trades. He earned enough money not only to buy the Dent property, but also to become a financier who loaned money to other merchants. He also owned stock in the Columbia Bank of Georgetown. Yarrow Mamout's story remained out of sight and underground. But in 2015, Washington, D.C.'s archaeologist's office found thousands of artifacts on the spot where Yarrow's home used to be. Many of these objects still need to be assessed and analyzed. In 2020, workers renovating a home close to where Yarrow once lived found 19th century human remains, which may be Mahmoud's. The memory of Yarrow Mamout lives on. In March of 2023, 200 years after the death of Yarrow Mamout, a new mosque has been named in his honor, the Yarrow Mamout Masjid. It can be found at Georgetown University. Georgetown is where he lived. May God bless our brother with the highest place in Jannah, the everlasting life.